ولا يخشى الدوائر، يعلم مثاقيل الجبال ومكائد البحار وعدد قطر الأمطار وعدد ورق الأشجار وعدد ما أظهر عليه الليل وما أشرق عليه النهار، ولا تواري منه سماء سماء ولا أرض أرضا، الحلال ما أحللت والحرام ما حرمت والدين ما شرعت والأمر ما قضيت، الخلق خلقك والعبد عبدك وأنت الله الرؤوف الرحيم. وصلى الله تعالى على حبيبه ونبيه صلى الله عليه وسلم. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: عجبا لأمر المؤمن إن أمره كله له خير، وليس ذلك لأحد إلا لمؤمن، إن أصابته سراء شكر فكان خيرا له، وإن أصابته ضراء صبر فكان خيرا له، أو كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I hope everyone is doing well today. So inshallah, alhamdulillah, we'll start with Surah Yusuf, the long-awaited Surah Yusuf. This surah was revealed in Mecca, and in a few narrations we find few people had asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, why did people from Bani Israel who were living in Palestine settle in Egypt? And then again, why did people from Bani Israel who were living in Palestine settle in Egypt? Now, just a quick recap. Musa alayhi salam was asked to leave Egypt. Musa alayhi salam, Bani Israel, they were asked to leave Egypt. Now, what happened was there were people living in Palestine. After defeat, now they were living in Palestine. Now, Bani Israel are from the children of Yaqub alayhi salam. Some of them, some tribes, settled in Egypt. So this is why these people, they asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and their intention was, these people thought Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had no way of acquiring knowledge of Bani Israel and as to why they settled in Egypt. As a result, they will say he is not a true prophet. So then again, they asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, people from Bani Israel who are living in Palestine, why do they settle in Egypt? Now their intention was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, now he has no way of acquiring this knowledge as to why they settled in Egypt. So thereafter, we'll come up with a plan and we'll tell everyone that he's not a true prophet. But in response to this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the entire Surah Yusuf with all its detail. Revealed the entire story of Surah Yusuf. The entire Surah of Allah Ta'ala revealed the entire Surah Yusuf, and the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, and as to how and why he moved to Egypt and he settled in Egypt. Now, as from here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts, نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين. Ayah number 3. نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص. Indeed, now we will tell you the best of stories. And my dear respected brothers, honestly, when you read the story of Yusuf alayhi salam in full details, the minutest of details, there isn't a better story than this. نحن, as Allah Ta'ala says himself, نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص. This is the best of stories. وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين. And you were heedless before this. You did not know the story prior to this. Now, is then again we said it means remember. Now from here it starts the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. Ayah number 4. إذ قال يوسف لأبيه يا أبت إني رأيت 11 كوكبا والشمس والقمر رأيتهم لي ساجدين. This was the dream that Yusuf alayhi salam had. O my beloved father, يا أبت, O my beloved father, إني رأيت 11 كوكبا. Indeed, I had a dream, and in my dream I dreamt I've seen 11 stars. Now, who were these 11 stars? These were the brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam. Now, let's get to some of their names. Now, the first brother, Ra'ubin. Second, Lawi. Now, it comes in another narration, that Yehuda was first. But nevertheless, third, Shim'un. 4, Yehuda. 5th, Yisakar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7th, 6th, Zabulun. 7, Dan. 8, Naphtali. 9, Jad. 10, Ashir. And last but not least, Binyamin. These were the 11 brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam. Thereafter, وَالشَّمْسَ وَالْقَمَرَ, the sun being the mother of Yusuf alayhi salam, وَالْقَمَرَ, moon being Yaqub alayhi salam himself. رَأَيْتُهُمْ لِي سَاجِدِينَ, I have seen them doing sajda to me, doing sajda before me. Now, Yaqub alayhi salam was a prophet. He knew the state of his other sons. قال يا بني لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك فيكيدوا لك كيدا إن الشيطان للإنسان عدو مبين. Now, because Yaqub alayhi salam, now what happened was, Yaqub alayhi salam had 2 wives. From the first wife gave birth to Yusuf alayhi salam and Binyamin. These were 2 blood brothers, Yusuf alayhi salam and Binyamin. The other 10 were from his other wife. So the other 10 were the stepbrothers of Yusuf alayhi salam and Binyamin. So he warned Yusuf alayhi salam to not tell this to your brothers. وكذلك يجتبيك ربك ويعلمك من تأويل الأحاديث ويتم نعمته عليك وعلى آل يعقوب كما أتمها على أبويك من قبل إبراهيم وإسحاق إن ربك عليم حكيم. Now here in this ayah, Yusuf alayhi salam was given glad tidings of 3 things. يجتبيك ربك, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen for you, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen for his blessings to fall on you, to befall you. Meaning that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a time will come, Yajtabi means to choose someone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen you for his mercy, has chosen you for his blessings. Meaning a time will come, now this is the tafsir of this, a time will come when you will be in Egypt and you will be given a lot of in'amat, a lot of prize, a lot of fortune, a lot of merchandise. يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ. This is what's preparing us. يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ. The second glad tiding, the second blessing, وَيُعَلِّمُكَ مِنْ تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ. We will teach you the interpretation of narratives. In other words, dreams. And last but not least, وَيُتِمُّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَيُتِمُّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ. In other words, meaning with bin nubuwah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make you a prophet. These were the 3 glad tidings that were given to Yusuf alayhi salam. Now, إِذْ قَالُوا لَيُوسُفُ وَأَخُوهُ أَحَبُّ إِلَىٰ أَبِينَا مِنَّا وَنَحْنُ عُصْبَةٌ إِنَّ أَبَانَا لَفِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. Now, there are 2 things that need to be taken into consideration. The reason why the brothers were jealous, because Yusuf alayhi salam had more love, Yaqub alayhi salam had more love for Yusuf alayhi salam and Binyamin. He was more affectionate towards Binyamin and Yusuf alayhi salam. This was the first. Now the second reason, Mufassirin have also written, through some way, somehow, one of the brothers, they found out, one of the brothers found out about the dream that Yusuf alayhi salam had. And as a result, he told others and they became jealous. So this is what the brothers said. وَأَحَبُّ إِلَىٰ أَبِينَا مِنَّا وَنَحْنُ عُصْبَةٌ. Now this is what they opposed, and this is what they said. They said, how is it possible for our father to love Yusuf alayhi salam and Binyamin وَنَحْنُ عُصْبَةٌ? And I've said this before, these were stepbrothers, the stepbrothers of Yusuf alayhi salam. وَنَحْنُ عُصْبَةٌ, we are, Usba means a group from 9 to 40. Sorry, from 10 to 40. Usba, that's what Usba means. We are stronger than them. We're able to do more things than them. We have more capabilities. We have more abilities. How is it befitting for our father? Why is our father giving preference? Why is Yaqub alayhi salam giving preference to Yusuf alayhi salam and Binyamin over us? Now this is something, my dear respected brothers, that I have to explain, and this is something that needs to be taken into consideration. Inna abana lafi dalalin mubin. This is why, my dear respected brothers and sisters, I say over and over again, it is very important for us to learn Quran, the tafsir of Quran, to learn Quran under the supervision of a scholar or a learned person. Now here, if a person who has done a small Arabic course for perhaps a year or 2 years, if he reads this ayah, Inna abana lafi dalalin mubin, he will just do word for word translation. Dalalin mubin means, the word dalal means a person. Now this is the meaning of dalal. As we read in, what a dalin comes from dal as well. Dal is a person who is completely lost, meaning he has lost his way in this world. Not only in this world, but he has also lost his way in the hereafter, meaning he will not gain anything in this world and he will not gain anything in the hereafter. This is the meaning of dal. Now, na'udhu billah, the sons are not saying, Inna abana lafi dalalin mubin, indeed our father is in great loss. They are not saying this. Now, although the word dal has been used here, dalalin mubin, but that is not the meaning. Dalalin mubin here means fi khata'in mubin. Indeed, our father is making a mistake by giving preference to Yusuf alayhi salam and Binyamin over us. He is making a mistake. That's what it means. Fi dalalin mubin. This is why, once again, my dear respected brothers, now if they were to say this, they would have left the fold of Islam. Now, this is why, once again, it is very important for us to learn Quran under the supervision of a learned person or a scholar. Now, so now the brothers are coming up with a plan because, like I said, because Yaqub alayhi salam had more love towards, he was giving more priority, he was giving preference to Yusuf alayhi salam and Binyamin over the rest of his sons. Now they said, "Uqtulu Yusuf aw utrahuhu." Now, this is the plan that they had come up with initially. They said, now to get rid of, and I'll get to I'll further clarify as to why they intended to kill Yusuf alayhi salam. They said, kill him. Now the brothers are together. Now they're making mashra with one another. They said, let's kill Yusuf. Let's kill Yusuf alayhi salam. Or we will throw him away. We will cast him away. We will place him in the jungle. We will take him far away from here, far away from this land. Far away. We will take him there. يَخْلُو لَكُمْ وَجْهُ أَبِيكُمْ. Now they are thinking, by removing Yaqub, by removing Yusuf alayhi salam, يَخْلُو لَكُمْ وَجْهُ أَبِيكُمْ. Now all of the attention, we will get all of the love now. Because Yusuf alayhi salam is out of the picture now. Now our father will give us preference. Now he will look at us. Now he will love us. Now he will be more affectionate towards us because Yaqub alayhi salam, and they knew this too, he dearly loves Yusuf alayhi salam. They said by removing Yusuf alayhi salam out of the picture, no more Yusuf means no more love for them, no more love for Binyamin either. So all the love will be towards us, all the attention will be towards us. وَتَكُونُوا مِنْ بَعْدِهِ قَوْمًا صَالِحِينَ. My dear respected brother, this is what we have to understand as well. This is also the tricks of Shaitan. Shaitan tells us to do evil. After he tells us, no, just do this evil once, perform this bad deed once. After, repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have to become pious. They have to, do this. This is exactly what they're doing. They are coming up with a plan. اقتلوا يوسف أو اطرحوه أرضا يخل لكم وجه أبيكم. This is their plan, their plan. Because they were jealous. Now they had no true hatred towards Yusuf alayhi salam because of any other reason. They were only jealous because Yusuf alayhi salam was given preference and priority over them. Thereafter, they said, وَتَكُونُوا مِنْ بَعْدِهِ قَوْمًا صَالِحِينَ. Now, after we do this, after we perform this, then we'll repent and then we'll become pious. قَالَ قَائِلٌ مِّنْهُمْ. Now, who said this? Who is the qa'il? Now, قَالَ قَائِلٌ مِّنْهُمْ means one of them said. Now, his name was Yehuda. And it has been said he was the eldest brother, and he had the best of opinions. Like, whenever they would make opinions, he would give the best of mashwaras. So قال قائل منهم, and initially he was not part of this plan. He did not intend to do this. So he said قال قائل منهم, one of the brothers, Yehuda, said, لا تقتلوا يوسف, do not kill Yusuf alayhi salam, وألقوه في غيابة الجب يلتقطه بعض السيارة إن كنتم فاعلين. If you really want to do this, firstly, don't do this. Do not remove Yusuf alayhi salam out of the picture. إن كنتم فاعلين, but if you really want to do this, do not kill Yusuf alayhi salam. Not تقتلوا, and do not throw him away. Put him in a well. Drop him in a well. Leave him in a well. في غيابة الجب, in a dark well. And that's what غيابة means. To hide something. So we will leave him in a far away, in a hidden place, in a dark, deep well. Now when people would go by, when travelers would go by, they would see him, they would need water. When they would look inside to get water, and they will find Yusuf alayhi salam, after they will pick him up and they will take him. And he will be out of the picture. If you really want to do this, now these brothers are going to Yaqub alayhi salam, and they're trying to convince him. يا أبانا ما لك لا تأمن على يوسف وإنا له لناصحون. Oh, our father, ما لك لا تأمن, why don't you trust us? Why don't you trust us على يوسف وإنا له لناصحون? We only wish for his betterment. In other words, we are his brothers. We will take care of him. We only wish for his betterment. أرسل معنا غدا يرتع ويلعب. Send him with us. We will play together, we will eat together. Yarta, meaning we will eat fruits together. We will eat fruits together. We will play together. And indeed we will protect him. And this is also referring to we are more in number, we are strong, we have strength, we have power. Indeed we will protect him. قال إني لا يحزنني أن تذهبوا به. Now there are two things here. SubhanAllah, this is the love of Yaqub alayhi salam, the love that Yaqub alayhi salam had for Yusuf alayhi salam. He says, إِنِّي لَا يَحْزُنُنِي أَن تَذْهَبُوا بِهِ. This separation, when he will be not with me, he will be with you. This separation that we will have, this separation will grieve me. Because of this separation, I will feel bad, I will feel sad. This is the love that Yaqub alayhi salam had for Yusuf alayhi salam. He said, لا يحزنني أن تذهبوا به. This separation will grieve me. وأخاف, now the second thing he feared, وأخاف أن يأكله الذئب وأنتم عنه غافلون. Now he says, I'm afraid that a wolf might eat him. Now because at that time, there happened to be many wolves at that time living in that area. So he said, and they used to roam around. So he said, I'm afraid a wolf might eat him. وَأَنْتُمْ عَنْهُ غَافِلُونَ. Once you are, busy with your own, you're busy in your own business. مَشْغُولٌ. You'll be busy. You'll be heedless. You won't know where Yusuf is. And at that time, Yusuf alayhi salam was 7 years old. Just imagine now, 7 years old. قالوا لئن أكله الذئب ونحن عصبة. See, how is this possible? How is this possible? A wolf cannot touch him. A wolf cannot. I'm not doing word for word translation. I'm doing the gist of this. How can a wolf eat him? How can a wolf eat him? وَنَحْنُ عُصْبَةٌ. We are strong. We have power on our side. We have strength on our side. We will take care of the wolf. The wolf cannot devour Yusuf alayhi salam. And if somehow the wolf does, then indeed we will be amongst those who have lost. amongst the losers. فلما ذهبوا به وأجمعوا أن يجعلوه في غيابة الجب وأوحينا إليه now إلى آخره يبكون وأباهم عشاء يبكون. Now a few details of this. What happened was when they took Yusuf alayhi salam to the well. Now firstly they removed his shirt, because as we will read along, they came with بدم كذب, as وجاءوا على قميصه بدم كذب. So they removed his shirt to convince his father that something has happened to him. A wolf ate Yusuf alayhi salam. So they removed his shirt. Thereafter they placed it in the bucket of the well. Now when it reached, this is what we find in different narrations. When it reached half of the well, they cut the ropes off. They cut the rope, and as a result, Yusuf alayhi salam fell down. Now here we have to understand وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْهِ لَتُنَبِّئَنَّهُم بِأَمْرِهِمْ هَذَا وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also revealed to Yusuf alayhi salam that do not be scared, we will take care of you. Now then again, my dear special brothers, I'm not doing word for word, I'm doing the meaning of this, that we will take care of you, do not worry. قالوا يا أبانا إنا ذهبنا now وجاءوا أباهم عشاء يبكون. Now they came back. Now they returned. عشاء يبكون. What time? Evening time. Or عشاء يبكون, night time, crying and coming to Yaqub alayhi salam and pleading and presenting their case. قالوا يا أبانا إنا ذهبنا نستبق. Now this is what they are saying. Oh our father, we were playing, نستبق, we were competing in race. We were racing with one another. We were challenging one another. وتركنا يوسف. Now whilst we were busy, Yusuf alayhi salam, he was 7 years old. How can he compete with us? وتركنا يوسف عند متاعنا. So as a result, we left Yusuf alayhi salam with our stuff, with our belongings. فأكله الذئب. After a wolf had come, and this wolf ate Yusuf alayhi salam. وَمَا أَنْتَ بِمُؤْمِنٍ لَنَا وَلَوْ كُنَّا صَادِقِينَ. And you are not to believe us, even if we are telling the truth. وَجَاءُوا. Now this is what they are coming up with. Because now, of course, they say talk is very cheap. So, وَجَاءُوا عَلَى قَمِيصٍ. Now in order to convince Yaqub alayhi salam already knew that these people are lying. Now, and I will tell you how Yaqub alayhi salam found out. وَجَاءُوا عَلَى قَمِيصِهِ بِدَمٍ كَذِبٍ. So now they had come with his shirt, the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam, with false blood. So what they did, as I said before, they removed the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam. After these brothers, they slaughtered a lamb. They slaughtered a lamb and they poured the blood of this lamb on this shirt. قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا فصبر جميل. Now, then again, I'm not doing word for word. بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا فصبر جميل. Now here, Yaqub alayhi salam is saying, no. This blood is false blood. بدم كذب. This is false blood. You are telling me a lie. You are lying to me. بل سولت لكم أنفسكم. This, whatever happened to Yusuf alayhi salam, you have done it yourself. Now, how did Yaqub alayhi salam find out? It comes in the narration that when they took this shirt up, and then when they brought this shirt to Yaqub alayhi salam, this shirt was not torn. So Yaqub alayhi salam, of course, after all, and he was a prophet as well. Now, this is in one narration that Yaqub alayhi salam said to them, this wolf must have been a very nice wolf. This wolf must have been a very nice wolf, because how is it possible that this wolf had eaten Yusuf alayhi salam without tearing his shirt? The shirt was not torn. Just imagine you have a clean shirt. Now on this shirt, this shirt is not torn. It's not torn apart. And all you have is few drops of blood. So he said, he understood as well. He said, but this is only your trick. This is your trick. He waited for a very long time. He was patient for a long time. والله المستعان على ما تصفون. وجاءت سيارة فأرسلوا واردهم فأدلى دلوى. Now, before I move on, now Yusuf alayhi salam, he is in the well now. And as I mentioned earlier, وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْهِ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to Yusuf alayhi salam through Jibreel alayhi salam, and at this moment he was 7 years old. He said, we will take care of you, nothing will happen. And all of this happened whilst, and all of this happened while the brothers were there, and وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ, but even, they themselves did not know what was happening. So now Huda, he used to go to Yusuf alayhi salam every day. He would go to Yusuf alayhi salam every day. He would take and he would give him food every single day. The first day he would go, he gave him food. The second day he went to Yusuf alayhi salam, he gave him food. The third day he went to Yusuf alayhi salam, he gave him food as well. Now the fourth day when he went to Yusuf alayhi salam, he did not find Yusuf alayhi salam. The reason being is because وَجَاءَتْ سَيَّارَةٌ فَأَرْسَلُوا وَارِدَهُمْ فَأَزْلَى دَلْوَى. Now these were also travelers in Palestine who had come from Egypt. So these travelers, when they were going, they were thirsty, they looked for water, they found a well, and it happened to be the same well in which Yusuf alayhi salam was. So they lowered this person, he lowered the bucket in the well. Now when Yusuf alayhi salam saw this, he held on to the bucket. And when he pulled up, he saw Yusuf alayhi salam. Now just imagine, you're looking for water. Now all of a sudden, there appears a boy in the bucket. So by seeing this, he was very astonished. He was very shocked. He said, "Ya Bushra hada ghulam, where did you come from? Where is this boy from?" وَأَسَرُّهُ بِضَاعَةً وَاللَّهُ عَلِيمٌ بِمَا يَعْمَلُونَ. And subhanAllah, this is what the brother said. Now Huda, when he did not find Yusuf, because their intention honestly was not to kill Yusuf alayhi salam. Their intention was to only remove him out of the way. Because they had no personal hate towards Yusuf alayhi salam. It was only out of jealousy, because Yaqub alayhi salam showed more love. He had more love towards Yusuf alayhi salam and Binyamin, and not towards the other sons. So they had done this out of jealousy. And when the brothers saw this, they said they looked for Yusuf alayhi salam. They did not find him. They looked in the world. They did not find him. So thereafter they found a caravan that was going, travelers that were going. And they saw Yusuf alayhi salam. So they said, "Oh no, this small boy right here." And Yusuf alayhi salam did not talk at that time because he was afraid these brothers would kill him. Just imagine, he was 7 years old at that time. He did not speak anything. He did not say anything. So these people, they said, the brothers said, "We will, this is our slave. He has, if you want, we will give it to you. We'll give it to you. You can keep this slave." And they bought him for وَشَرَوْهُ بِثَمَنٍ بَخْسٍ, a very small amount. Now, Mufassirin say, what was this amount? This amount was 20 أو 2, either 20 or 30 dinar. Very small amount, 20 or 30 dinar. معدودة طواهم معدودة وكانوا فيه من الزاهدين. Now, because like I mentioned earlier, their intention was to get rid of Yusuf alayhi salam. So now this, so now these people, they bought Yusuf alayhi salam, they purchased him, and they had taken him to Egypt. Now Yusuf alayhi salam is out of the picture. So وقال الذي اشتراه من مصر لامرأته أكرمي مثواه عسى أن ينفعنا أو نتخذه ولدا. In ayah number 21. So now this person, when he went back, now we have to understand Yusuf alayhi salam, he was very beautiful. He was very handsome. It comes in the riwayah as well. He was given 1/3 of the beauty of this world. SubhanAllah. 1/3 of the beauty of this world was given to Yusuf alayhi salam. So just imagine how beautiful and how handsome Yusuf alayhi salam must have been. So now he set a high price. The bar was set very high for Yusuf alayhi salam. The bar was set very high. So now this person, الذي اشتراه من مصر, he was the treasurer of Egypt, whose name was Qitmir. Or sorry, it was either Qitmir or Qitfir. He was the treasurer of Egypt at that time. And he purchased Yusuf alayhi salam. He had given that person musk equivalent to the weight of Yusuf alayhi salam. Just imagine, musk equivalent to the weight of Yusuf alayhi salam, and he had given it to that person who initially purchased Yusuf alayhi salam in Palestine. So now this person, he said to his wife, لِإِمْرَأَتِهِ Now, who was his wife? What was the name of the wife? It comes in the riwayah, it was either Ra'il or Zulaykha. Either Ra'il or Zulaykha. And because he had to go somewhere. Now he was busy, he was engaged in other business meetings as well. He had to go out of town. And he said to his wife, أكرمي مثواه عسى أن ينفعنا أو نتخذه ولدا. أكرمي مثواه, take care of him. Because now, this responsibility fell on the shoulders of Zulaykha, because now the king had to leave. أكرمي مثواه, take care of him. عسى أن ينفعنا أو نتخذه ولدا, or we may adopt him. Now, the reason why, what was the reason for adoption? Because the husband, this person Qadri, he was not able to produce a child. وكذلك مكنا ليوسف في الأرض ولنعلمه من تأويل الأحاديث والله غالب على أمره ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون ولما بلغ أشده آتيناه حكما وعلما. Now, Allah Ta'ala says we have given him knowledge. What type of knowledge? من تأويل الأحاديث, the knowledge of interpretation. Now, how old was ولما بلغ أشده, how old was Yusuf alayhi salam at this time? Yusuf alayhi salam at this time, there are different narrations. Some say he was 30 years old. Some say he was 33 years old. And some even say he was around 20 years old at this time. وكذلك نجزي المحسنين. وراودته التي هو في بيتها عن نفسه وغلقت الأبواب وقالت هيت لك. Or in other narrations, هيت لك. Now, after, the wife of the king, Qutmid, whose name was Zulaykha, after seeing the beauty of Yusuf alayhi salam, she had an inclination towards Yusuf alayhi salam, an affection towards Yusuf alayhi salam. وراودته التي هو في بيته, and she tried to engage him in evil, in an immoral and immodest activity. وغلقت الأبواب وقالت هيت لك. Thereafter, she closed all the doors and she tried inviting Yusuf alayhi salam, she tried bringing Yusuf alayhi salam towards her. Now, it comes in a narration that how did she do this? When she closed the doors, she started praising Yusuf alayhi salam. She said, look how beautiful your hair is. Look how beautiful your face is. Look how beautiful your skin is. And this is what has been found in different tafsir. Now, every time she would say something, she would talk about the beauty of Yusuf alayhi salam. Yusuf alayhi salam would say, all of this is going to perish after my demise. All of this. So she would say, look at your hair is so beautiful. What beautiful hair you have. This hair he will reply, this hair will perish after my demise. What a beautiful face you have, this face. And this is how he would cancel all her tricks, nullify all her tricks. Now, وقالت هيت لك قال معاذ الله إنه ربي أحسن مثواه إنه لا يفلح الظالمون. Now, my dear respected brothers, I will go on. وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ, and this is then again why it is very important for us to read Quran under the guidance, or you can say under the supervision of a scholar. وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهِ, and this is where a lot of people get confused. وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهِ. Now, she, Zulaykha, she intended to do evil. She intended bad, for bad. وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهِ, she intended for Yusuf alayhi salam. وَهَمَّ بِهَا. Now, وَهَمَّ بِهَا is referring to Yusuf alayhi salam. Now, I will clarify what the meaning of وَهَمَّ بِهَا is. Now, na'udhu billah, people today, when they read Quran without any without any guidelines, or without any guidance, or without having without learning Quran under the supervision of a scholar, they read these ayahs and they are misled by these ayahs. وَهَمَّ بِهَا. Now, وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهِ, this is, then again, I want to clarify this. She intended for Yusuf alayhi salam. Now, those who read Quran on their own, they say, na'udhu billah, Yusuf alayhi salam also intended for it. Meaning, Yusuf alayhi salam also intended for zina. Now, na'udhu billah, it is not befitting, it is not suitable for a person to say this. It is not befitting, it is not suitable, it is not jais for a person to say this, na'udhu billah. Yusuf alayhi salam also intended for this action. Now, There are many aqwal as to how this, as to what hamma biha means. Perhaps the best way to understand this is the code of Maulana Ashraf Ali Thanwi. He says the meaning of what hamma biha is very simple. And alhamdulillah subhanahu, he has given a very beautiful analogy and a very beautiful comparison, a very beautiful example. He says today when a person is fasting, and now let's say you open the fridge or you see a bottle of water. Now, since you're fasting, of course, it's been some time that you had taken some water. Now, after all, being a human, you would have a slight inclination towards water. You would say, I feel like drinking water. But now this does not mean a person who is fasting, he's going to drink water and break his fast. This does not mean that. Similarly, when you are fasting, an example would be when you are fasting today, and the tablecloth is set at iftar time. Now, when you look at the food, you want to eat this food. You have a slight inclination towards this food, but this does not mean that you are going to actually take this food and break your fast before the time comes in. Similarly, of course, Yusuf alayhi salam was a human. He had a slight inclination towards Zulaykha, but of course he did not intend for zina. He had a very slight inclination. Muhammad, this is the meaning of Muhammad. لولا أرأى برهان ربي. What were the signs that Yusuf alayhi salam had seen? Now it comes. There are many narrations that say he had seen different signs. One was when he looked up at the sky, he saw the ayah وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا, do not go near zina. He saw this ayah. This is one narration. The other riwayah is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala presented Yaqub alayhi salam before him. Yaqub alayhi salam started biting his, and he was in a form when he was biting his fingers. And that was a sign of grief, that was a sign of sorrow. Meaning that, O Yusuf, do not engage in yourself in this act. And there were other signs that he had seen as well. كذلك من نصرف عنه السوء والفحشاء إنه من عبادنا المخلصين. That after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives clear and evident clarifications that إنه من عبادنا المخلصين. Indeed, he is a sincere person. واستبق الباب وقدت قميصه من زبر وألف يا سيدها لدى الباب. قالت ما جزاء من أراد بأهلك سوءا إلا أن يسجن أو عذاب أليم. Now what happened was, at this moment, it comes in the riwayah as well. As I've said this before, she had locked all doors. And it comes in the riwayah, only Allah Ta'ala knows best. There were 12 doors. So now then again, only Allah Ta'ala knows best, the amount of doors. So Yusuf alayhi salam, at that point, he feared Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he ran away from her. Now, every time he would remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the door would fling open. The door would open, the next door, fear Allah ta'ala, the door would, and she was وَاسْتَبَقَ الْبَابَ وَقَدَّتْ قَمِيصَهُ مِنْ دُبُرٍ. Now Zulaykha, she is chasing Yusuf alayhi salam. She's chasing Yusuf alayhi salam. And then a time came when she came close enough and she grabbed Yusuf alayhi salam from the back. As a result, his shirt was ripped. His shirt ripped from the back. Now, وَأَلْفَ يَا سَيِّدَهَا لَدَى الْبَابِ. Now, in the midst of this, when she ripped the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam, and they were running, Yusuf alayhi salam was running away from her, and Zulaykha is chasing Yusuf alayhi salam. Right in the midst of this, they found the king to be there. The king had come back. So what she did, she started crying, appealing her case, fighting her case, saying that it was on her fault. Na'udhu Yusuf alayhi salam intended to do bad with her. قالت ما جزاء من أراد بأهلك سوءا إلا أن يسجن أو عذاب أليم. What do you say about that person who has, who thinks bad of me, or in other words, who intends to do zina with me? إلا أن يسجن أو عذاب أليم. He should either be punished, he should either be imprisoned, or he should be given a severe punishment. قال هي راودتني عن نفسي وشهد شاهد من أهلها. Now Yusuf alayhi salam is presenting his case. He said, no, it is not my fault. I haven't done anything. It was her. وشهد شاهد من أهلها. This is also the miracle that was given to Yusuf alayhi salam. Now, who is this shahid? He was a small boy now in a cradle. And this was also a miracle that was given to Yusuf alayhi salam. He was a very small boy. In Ghana, and he said, and he made a decisive plan, a decisive decision. In Ghana, قميصه قد من قبل فصدقت وهو من الكاذبين. If his because the wife of because Zulaykha said, Na'udhu billah, Yusuf alayhi salam tried to seduce her, and Yusuf alayhi salam is saying, no, it was her who intended to do this. Now the plan was in Ghana, and the decision was in Ghana قميصه قد من قبل فصدقت وهو من الكاذبين. Ayah number 26. If his shirt is torn from the front, من قبل فصدقت وهو من الكاذبين, that means the wife is telling the truth and he is amongst the liars. وإن كان قميصه قد من دبر فكذبت وهو من الصادقين. But if his shirt is torn from the back, then that means he is telling the truth. And this was the decision that was made because, as I said earlier, she pulled the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam from the back. فلما رأى قميصه قد من دبر. Now when the king saw the shirt, it was torn from the back, it was not torn from the front. قال إنه من كيدكن إن كيدكن عظيم. And he started criticizing his wife. He said, no, this is your plan now. Yusuf أعرض عن هذا. Now the king is advising Yusuf alayhi salam, oh Yusuf, let go of this, this, whatever has happened, it's in the past, leave it in the past now, refrain from this. وَاسْتَغْفِرِي لِذَنْبِكَ. And as for you, as for his wife, ask repentance, seek repentance. إِنَّكِ كُنْتِ مِنَ الْخَاطِئِينَ. Indeed, you are the one, you have made a mistake. You've made a mistake. وَقَالَ نِسْوَةٌ فِي الْمَدِينَةِ. Now, moving on to ayah number 30, all the way until ayah number 32. I will not read them. I will not read these ayahs. I will not read them. I will only do their explanation. Now, there were a few women, Niswatun fil Madinah. There were a few women, after finding out about Zulaykha, after finding out about the incident, what had happened, they started criticizing Zulaykha. They said, how can Zulaykha do this with Yusuf alayhi salam? How could Zulaykha do this with her own boy, with her own slave? How can she do this? And they started criticizing Zulaykha. When she found out, فَلَمَّا سَمِعَتْ بِمَكْرِهِنَّ. So now when Zulaykha found out of their criticism, she said, okay, these women think I'll advise a plan. Now I'll think of something. So what she did was she called them to her house for a da'wah. Just a da'wah, just have food, just to talk, just to enjoy. But after she presented some fruits before them. Nowadays, it comes in riwayah that these were oranges or either apples or oranges. And she asked them to, you can start eating now. And they started peeling and cutting the apples and the oranges. Thereafter, she called on to Yusuf alayhi salam. Now, Yusuf alayhi salam was not aware of this. He was somewhere else. She called Musa. And the reason why she called them to her house was, one, reason for a da'wah, second, to give clarifications. That, I was not the one, or, as a clarification on what the incident was all about. So now she called Yusuf alayhi salam. وَقَالَتْ تَخْرُجَ عَلَيْهِنَّ. Yusuf alayhi salam, she called Yusuf alayhi salam. Now Yusuf alayhi salam was in shock himself, because Yusuf alayhi salam was not aware of this. After seeing Yusuf alayhi salam, they said, حَاشَا لِلَّهِ مَا هَذَا بَشَرٍ إِنْ هَذَا إِلَّا مَلَكٌ كَرِيمٌ. Now after seeing this, subhanAllah, like I said before, Yusuf alayhi salam was given one third of the beauty of this world was given to Yusuf alayhi salam. So just imagine how handsome, how beautiful Yusuf alayhi salam must have been. حَاشَا لِلَّهِ. What is this? SubhanAllah, MashaAllah, you are not a person. In هَذَا إِلَّا مَلَكٌ. Indeed, you're an angel. Now, as a result, when they looked at Yusuf alayhi salam, since they were cutting their their fruits, their apples, and their oranges. When they saw Yusuf alayhi salam, their knives slipped, and they now, instead of cutting the fruits, they started cutting their fingers, just by looking at the beauty of Yusuf alayhi salam. Now, subhanAllah, Aisha radiallahu anha says, the women who saw Yusuf alayhi salam, by Yusuf alayhi salam, they had cut their hands, they had cut their fingers. If they had seen my beloved Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, let alone cutting their fingers, they would have cut their hearts, they would have cut open their hearts by looking at the beauty of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is what Aisha radiallahu anha has said about Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now, after seeing Yusuf alayhi salam, because in the beginning we have to understand they were criticizing Zulaykha. They said, Zulaykha, how can you do this to your slave? How can you do this to your boy? Now, subhanAllah, now they turned their ways. Now they completely changed their thought. And now they're going against Yusuf alayhi salam. They said, Yusuf, you should listen to Zulaykha. You should listen to Zulaykha. And not only this, it comes to riwayas, these women who were there, they would secretly go to Yusuf alayhi salam later on, and they would engage him and they would tell him to do zina. Na'udhu billah. Thereafter, Yusuf alayhi salam made a dua. قال رب السجن أحب إلي مما يدعونني إليه. Ya Allah, prison is more beloved to me than what they are calling me towards. Ya Allah, prison is more beloved to me. And this dua was accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَاسْتَجَابَهُ رَبُّهُ فَصَرَفَ عَنْهُ كَيْدَهُنَّ إِنَّهُ هُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all hearing and all seeing. Because what happened was, and this was also advised by the king Qutmir, or Qutfir. Now what happened was, at that time, it was becoming very famous that, how can this happen in the kingdom? How can this happen in his palace? That the wife of the king Qutfir, how can Zulaykha seduce his own son? And this was becoming the talk of the town. So he said, to save everyone, to save ourselves, and to it's better for you as well, Yusuf alayhi salam. We will imprison you for some time. Now, as we find here in ayah number 35, لَا يَسْجُنُنَّهُ حَتَّى حِينٍ. We will imprison him for some time, for some short time. وَدَخَلَ مَعَهُ السِّجْنَ فَتَيَانِ. Now, two people had also entered into the prison with Yusuf alayhi salam. Now, who are these two people? The first person, he was a saqi. He used to give wine to his king. The other one was the cook of the king. Now, why were they in prison? It comes in the why these two were in prison because someone had said, the news reached the king that they tried to poison the king. And as a result, they were imprisoned. Now, the first one said, Inni arani a'silu khamra. The first person said, I dreamt that I am squeezing wine, that I'm giving wine. وقال الآخر, the second one said, إني أراني أحمل فوق رأسي خبزا تأكله الطير منه. The second one said, indeed, I've seen in my dream, I'm raising a bread, and through which birds are coming, and other animals are coming, and they're eating from this. Sorry, birds are coming and they're eating from this. Inna naraka min al-muhsinin. You seem like a good man. Can you tell us about our dreams? Now, Yusuf alayhi salam, of course, being a prophet, and Yusuf alayhi salam knew the ta'wil of ahadith. He knew the ta'bir of ru'ya. So Yusuf alayhi salam, now he started giving them targhib. Because Yusuf alayhi salam knew this person, this person who was the second person, أحمل فوق رأسي خبزا تأكل الطير منه, he was going to pass away. He was going to die. And at that moment, he was not a believer. Meaning he did not believe in Allah Ta'ala. So now Yusuf alayhi salam is giving both of them targhib. By saying, إِنِّي تَرَكْتُ مِلَّةَ قَوْمِي لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَهُمْ بِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ كَافِرُونَ. And all the way until ayah number 40, he is giving them targhib. إن الحكم إلا لله أمر ألا تعبدوا إلا إياه ذلك الدين القيم ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون. This was, ulama also say he had given them targhib because this was of course he has given them targhib because one of them was going to die. So he intended for him to believe in Allah Ta'ala before his demise. Now, Ya Sahib يا صاحبي السجن أما أحدكما فيسقي ربه خمرا. As for the first one, as for the first person, as for the one who, as I said, there were two people. This person, as for the person who was squeezing wine, he said, as for you, you are going to go back, meaning you are free. You haven't done anything wrong. You will go back and you will continue your job. وأما الآخر, as for the second one, فيصلب فتأكل الطير من رأسه. You will be crucified, you will be killed, and birds will eat from you. قضي الأمر الذي فيه تستفتيان. Now, after hearing this, they said, we haven't seen anything. We haven't seen anything in our dreams. So Yusuf alayhi salam, in response to their question, they said, قضي الأمر الذي فيه تستفتيان. Because they said, this was a normal dream. They didn't know the severity of this dream. So Yusuf alayhi salam said, قضي الأمر, matter has been decided, الذي فيه تستفتيان. وقال الذي ظن أنه ناج منهما. Now that person who was going to be saved, was going to be freed, Yusuf alayhi salam said to him, when you go back to the king, make sure you mention my name. Make sure you mention my name. فأنساه الشيطان ذكر ربه. Now, Shaitan made him forget. Now this person forgot when he left the prison, he forgot to mention the name of Yusuf alayhi salam to his Rabbihi, meaning to his leader, or to the king of that time. فلبث في السجن بضع سنين. Now as a result, Yusuf alayhi salam, because this person forgot, as a result, Yusuf alayhi salam stayed in the prison for either 7 years, or 12 or 12 years. So either 7 years or 12 years. After that, now the king had a dream. This was a king, either a king or a representative, or whoever this person was. He had a dream whose name was Rayyan al-Walid. His name was Rayyan al-Walid. Sorry, Rayyan bil-Walid. Rayyan bil-Walid. So he said, إني أرى 7 بقرات سمان يأكلهن 7 حجاف و7 سنبلات خضر وأخرى يابسات يا أيها الملأ أفتوني في رؤياي إن كنتم للرؤيا تعبرون. Now he said to his associates, if you have the capability of, giving an interpretation of dreams, I need you to interpret a dream for me. I dreamt إني أرى 7 بقرات, and I've seen 7 fat cows, سمان يأكلهن 7 عجاف, being eaten by 7 skinny cows. و7 سنبلات, I've seen 7 green spikes of grain. وأخرى يابسات, and 7 dry spikes of grain. يا أيها الملأ, O my associates, tell me about my dream. قالوا أضغاث الأحلام. Now they said, O king, these are only, these are just false dreams. The dream that you dreamt of, it is a false dream. There's nothing about it. وما نحن بتأويل الأحلام بعالمين, and we have no knowledge of, interpretation. Now, وقال الذي نجا منهما وادكر بعد أمة أنا أنبئكم بتأويله فأرسلون. Now, this person who was saved, now he remembered, he said, oh, I forgot about Yusuf alayhi salam. There is one person who knows ta'wil al-hadith. Yusuf alayhi salam, he's in prison, and I need you to come with me. Thereafter, they went to Yusuf alayhi salam and said, أيها الصديق, أفتنا في 7 بقرات, and he said the entire, he narrated the entire dream. So Yusuf alayhi salam said, قال تزرعون 7 سنين دأبا. He said, you will plant for 7 consecutive years. فما حصدتم فذروه في سنبله إلا قليلا مما تأكلون. Whatever you harvest, leave it in its spikes, leave it in its grain, except for that amount which you will eat. Then thereafter, ثم يأتي من بعد ذلك 7 شداد يأكلن مما قدمتم لهن إلا قليلا مما تحسنون. After these 7 great years, these years of plantation, there will come 7 difficult years. They will consume what you have saved for them, except a little from what you have stored. Thereafter, ثم يأتي من بعد ذلك عام فيه يغاث الناس وفيه يعرسون. Thereafter, a year will come in which people will be given rain, in which they will press grapes, they will squeeze grapes, meaning referring to as affluency. Now the king said, bring me this person, bring me Yusuf alayhi salam. فلما جاء الرسول قال ارجع إلى ربك فاسأله ما بال النسوة اللاتي قطعن أيديهن إن ربي بكيدهن عليم. Now Yusuf alayhi salam said, okay, no, you have to wait. First, I need you to ask your king. Now this king, he was not the king of Egypt at that time. So you could say he was a small leader, or he was appointed by the main king, who was Qutfir. Return to Qutfir and ask him about the plan of the women who had cut their fingers, who had cut their hands. So the king asked, ما خطبكن إذ راودتن يوسف عن نفسه. They asked about, now the king Qutfir asked the ladies, you tell me about your plan now. They said, قلنا حاشا لله ما علمنا عليه من سوء. We did not intend for any bad. We did not intend for anything bad. قالت امرأة العزيز. Now the wife of Aziz, at that moment, at this point, she said, الآن حصل الحق. At this point, indeed, truth has won. Truth has come up on top. أنا راودته عن نفسه وإنه لمن الصادقين. Yusuf alayhi salam is telling the truth. I was the one who tried to involve him more, who tried to engage him in zina. راودته, I was the one who seduced him. عن نفسه وإنه لمن الصادقين. Indeed, he is telling the truth. ذلك ليعلم. Now this was only because the king was good. The king, Qutfir, was a good person. He was a good person. So ذلك ليعلم. Yusuf alayhi salam only did this أني لم أخنه بالغيب. So to let the king know that I did not betray you, because the king, he was now Yusuf alayhi salam was staying at the king's place. He was staying at his palace. He said, ذلك ليعلم أني لم أخنه بالغيب. I did not betray you. I did not betray you while you were gone. While you were gone, I did not betray you. وأن الله لا يهدي كيد الخائنين. Now, my dear respected brothers, I know I said we will do entire Surah Yusuf. We will also do Surah Ra'd, Surah Ibrahim as well. But unfortunately, I was not able to do this. I was just these 7 pages that we have done today, it took me nearly 4 hours just to read the Tafsir and just to go through different books to extract information. And honestly, there is so much information, because when we have to understand, and I'm only pleading my case, so I'm saved from your objection as well. I had to go through a lot of books as well, and a lot of books have many aqwal. If I were to mention all these aqwal, it would take up nearly 2. Honestly, it would take up nearly 2 hours. So I had to select each and every single one, the main ones. So this is why I'm sorry we're not able to finish the entire Surah Yusuf. And as I've said this before, these 7 pages honestly took me 4 hours. Just these 7 pages of, and yet again, I have still left out some of the details of the story. Now, inshallah, tomorrow we will continue with Surah Yusuf again. Now, then again, I'm not sure if we are going to do Surah Ra'd Ibrahim tomorrow. It all depends on how, because I haven't looked into the tafsir of this of the 13 juz. I've only looked into it from Wama min Dabba. So then again, I'm not too sure how long will it take. How long will this tafsir take? So inshallah, but most likely we will finish. Definitely, we will finish Surah Yusuf. We'll finish Surah Yusuf for sure. Now this brings us to our hadith. Our hadith of the day. It has been narrated by Abdullah bin Amr, radiyallahu anhu, that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said, الراحمون يرحمهم الرحمن. Rahman, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mercy on those who have mercy. Irhamu ahl al-ard, have mercy on the dwellers of earth. Have mercy, meaning each and every single living organism on the face of this earth, which means have mercy on trees, have mercy on your family members, have mercy on your brother, have mercy on your sister, have mercy on your relatives, have mercy on animals. Thereafter, by you having mercy on them, by you showing mercy to them, what will happen? يَرْحَمُكُمْ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاءِ, the one who is in the heavens will have mercy on you. The one who is in the heavens will have mercy on you. Irhamu ahl al-ard, have mercy on the dwellers of earth, and then what will happen? Yarhamukum man fi as-sama, the one who is in the heavens will have mercy on you. Meaning Allah Ta'ala will have mercy on you. Now, coming to this is another hadith that I will do pertaining to dhikr. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said, لَيَبْعَثَنَّ اللَّهُ أَقْوَامًا يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will resurrect people on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Such people, and who are these people? فِي وُجُوهِهِمُ النُّورِ. Their faces will be radiant. Their faces will be glowing. Glowing with light, glowing with nur. عَلَى مَنَابِرِ اللُّؤْلُؤِ. Not only this, they will be on pulpits of pearls. Puppets made from pearls. Now, after seeing these people on puppets of, sitting on puppets of pearls and gems, people would envy them. People will envy them. And now these people are not amongst prophets, shuhada. They are not amongst shuhada, martyrs. So when Arabi was very interested, right away he stood up. Now when Arabi was sitting down, right away he stood up and he said, Ya Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, give us more details. Ya Rasulullah, tell us more about these people. And who are these people? So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Humul mutahabbuna fillah. These are people who love one another for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Min qaba'ili shatta. These are people from different tribes. وَبِلَادٍ shatta, from different tribes, different ethnicities, different people, different language. يَجْتَمِعُونَ, but they will have one goal. يَجْتَمِعُونَ عَلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. They will all come together. They will form a group. They will come together. They will form a majma'. Now, why are they forming this majma'? يَجْتَمِعُونَ عَلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ يَذْكُرُونَهُ. They will come together, and together they will remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, these people are the ones, يَغْوِتُهُمُ النَّاسِ, people will envy them on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Not only this, عَلَى مَنَابِرِ اللُّؤْلُؤِ, they will be on pulpits of pearls. To my dear respected brothers, this is the importance of doing dhikr. Not only doing dhikr and not only remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in solitude, but we should also honestly engage ourselves in doing dhikr in congregation. Now then again, what is the way to do this? Then again, seek guidance from a scholar. Do not form your own group. Sisters are forming their own groups, brothers are forming their own groups. Hopefully this is not happening where men and women are forming their group together, all in one group, and thereafter they are remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This should not be done. We should refrain from this. Honestly, refrain from this. Please seek guidance of a scholar as to how they should perform this, as to how they should perform dhikr collectively. Now you should do it in solitude, and you should do it collectively as well. So alhamdulillah, this brings us to the end of our 12th juz, وَمَا مِن دَابَّةٍ. Now today we did 7 pages, now we have 7 pages left of Surah Yusuf. Now before we end off, are there any questions that you would like to ask perhaps, or let's say you have missed something, or you're still unclear of something, perhaps the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, or anything. If you are on start meeting, you can text. Any question that you may have, or you might have missed something. Alhamdulillah. Now the question is, the question someone asked, why didn't Yaqub alayhi salam search for Yusuf alayhi salam? Honestly, this I will go back to. Now we have to go back to ayah number. We have to go back to ayah number 6. Ayah number 6. وَكَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ. Now, the reason being is because firstly, this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted. And second, يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, now the promise that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made, the blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given to Yusuf alayhi salam, this promise was going to be fulfilled in Egypt. وَيَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ in Egypt. Now, then again, it was out of the, because Yaqub alayhi salam, of course, he was not, as we know, he was not a normal person as well. He was a prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only Allah ta'ala knows the correct and the exact reason as to why Yusuf alayhi salam was patient there and why Yaqub alayhi salam did not actually go searching for his child. So honestly, only Allah Ta'ala knows. Because just imagine, had it not been for Yusuf alayhi salam going all the way to Egypt, all of these details will not come into existence. All of these lessons that we can extract, the story of Zulaykha would not have taken place. The story of, had it not been for Yusuf alayhi salam going to Egypt, the story of Zulaykha had not taken place. Other stories would not take place. But then, this is perhaps the reason. But the bottom line is, honestly, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. This is what we can say. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best as to why Yaqub alayhi salam did not search for Yusuf alayhi salam. Are there any more questions? Okay, so no worries, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to have love for prophets. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to have love for those who love prophets. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to have love for His deen, to have love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to have love for Quran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also enable us in His remembrance. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala engage our tongues in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us to engage our tongues in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May today's hadith and dua, okay, I will say it again. The hadith of today was Abdullah bin Amr radiallahu anhu has narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said, Ar-Rahimun yarhamuhum ar-Rahman. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mercy on those who have mercy. Yarhamu ahl al-ard, have mercy on the dwellers of earth, have mercy on those who are on this earth. Have mercy on your family members, have mercy on your relatives, have mercy on the people of this earth. Ahl al-ard, have mercy on animals. And then what will happen? Yarhamukum man fi sama, the one who is in the heavens will have mercy on you. This hadith has been mentioned in Abu Dawud. Now, as for another hadith, this is pertaining to dhikr again. لَيَبْعَثَنَّ اللَّهُ أَقْوَامًا يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will resurrect few people on Yawm al-Qiyamah. فِي وُجُوهِهِمُ النُّورِ. Their faces will be radiant. عَلَى مَنَابِرِ اللُّؤْلُوِ. They will be on pulpits of pearls. يَغْبِطُهُمُ النَّاسِ. people will envy them. لَيْسُوا بِأَنْبِيَاء, they are not amongst prophets, وَلَا شُهَدَاء, and nor are they amongst martyrs. So when Arabi stood up and he said, Ya Rasulullah, حُلَّهُمْ لَنَا نَعْرِفُهُمْ, Ya Rasulullah, give us more details as to who these people will be, as to who these people are. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, هُمُ الْمُتَحَابُونَ فِي اللَّهِ, these people are those who love one another for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in قَبَائِلِ شَتَى وَبِلَادٍ شَتَى, they will be people from different tribes, different ethnicities, different language. يَسْتَمِعُونَ عَلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ, they will all come together, they will sit together. يَجْتَمِعُونَ عَلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ يَذْكُرُونَهُ, they will sit together to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They will come together to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This was the hadith. Sorry, the hadith of the day as well. Now, before I make a small dua, are there any more questions? Okay, no worries. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to understand what has been heard and said. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala وإياكم. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to fast in the month of Ramadan with ease. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to give in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open-heartedly. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase in our wealth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase in our knowledge. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also increase in our a'mal, in our deeds. Jazakumullahu khairan for your time. Wa ahsanul jaza. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wa salamun ala al-mursalin. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. One last nasiha I would like to say before I end off. Please do not read tafsir on your own. Once again, like I said, this ayah right here, وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهَا, this ayah right here, and the first ayah, the second, on the second page that we had done, just 1 second. Yes, these two ayahs. Ayah number 8, Inna abana lafi dhalalin mubin. This is something, and I've explained this as well. Dhalalin mubin does not mean that our father, na'udhu billah, he is not on the clear path, the evident path. Meaning, in other words, he's on a wrong path. Na'udhu billah, this does not mean here Yaqub al-Islam was a prophet. This, what they are saying is, our father is making a mistake. Lafi khata'in mubin. Our father is making a mistake by giving preference to Yaqub alayhi salam, by giving preference to Yusuf alayhi salam and Binyamin over us. وَنَحْنُ عُصْبَةٌ. When we are stronger than them, we have more capabilities and abilities. And this ayah as well, ayah number 24. وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهِ وَهَمَّ بِهَا. And I've explained this as well. And I gave the example of a fasting person. وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهِ وَهَمَّ بِهَا. So then again, my dear respected brothers, do not read tafsir on your own. Yes, honestly, the meanings are very, very deep, trust me. Honestly, a person, like I've mentioned before, because a person can be deceived just by reading one ayah, because it's, a lot of times it's sad to say, people from, I would say East Indians, their language is Urdu. They say Urdu is very similar to Arabic because, Urdu was extracted from Arabic. Now, as I've said this before, as we read in the Quran, وَمَكَرُوا مَكَرَ اللَّهِ. They planned and Allah Ta'ala planned. وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. Now, in Urdu or in Hindi or whatever, either, whichever language it may be, makar means something bad. Makar means an evil plan, or I don't know the exact meaning of makar, but it means bad. Now, this person who read this Quran ayah, he left the fold of Islam just by reading one ayah, just by saying, makaru, how can Allah Ta'ala, wa makarullah, how can Allah Ta'ala come up with an evil plan? Wallahu khairul makirin. And na'udhu billah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best of those who come up with evil plans. How can Allah Ta'ala be the best of them? According to him, was Allah Ta'ala is the best of he is the best of those who come up with evil plans. Then again, my dear respected brothers, it is very important for us to read Quran to read Quran under the guidance of a scholar. Then again, if you have love for Quran, alhamdulillah, that is very nice. If you have love for tafsir, then once that's very nice. But last but not least, you should not read tafsir, let alone tafsir. You should not read hadith on your own as well. Do not read hadith on your own. Do not read Quran on your own. By saying that, I hope you know what I mean by reading Quran. This does not mean that you're not able to read Quran, you're not able to read Surah Nas on your own. I'm not saying this. I'm talking about tafsir, reading tafsir, going into the details. Do not go into details unless you have been given permission by a scholar, or unless you are doing it under the supervision of a scholar. Same rule applies for hadith. I honestly hope, inshallah, all the listeners, those who are listening, will take care of this. Jazakallahu khairan for your time. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.